The studio lights burned brighter than usual that morning, casting a sharp glow across the glossy desk where everything was supposed to feel controlled, polished, and predictable. But beneath the surface, something was already off. The audience sensed it before a single word was spoken. There was tension in the air, thick, quiet, and waiting to snap. Joy sat in her usual seat, her posture firm, her expression unreadable but tight around the edges. She had done thousands of shows, handled countless debates, but today felt different. Across from her, Leanne Morgan adjusted her microphone with a small, polite smile. She wasn't a regular host, but her presence carried a calm confidence that didn't go unnoticed. The cameras rolled. The theme music faded. Applause filled the room. Joy leaned forward, starting the segment with her signature tone. Sharp, witty, slightly teasing. The topic was meant to be light at first, something about generational differences in humor and culture. But the conversation took a turn almost immediately. Leanne laughed gently at a comment Joy made, but her response carried a subtle pushback. It was respectful but firm. She spoke about how humor evolves, how people connect differently now, and how sometimes older perspectives don't always resonate the same way anymore. Joy's smile stiffened. She wasn't used to being challenged so directly, especially not in such a calm, measured way. Usually, debates escalated quickly on the show, voices raised, interruptions flying. But this was different. Leanne wasn't arguing loudly. She was simply holding her ground. The audience shifted in their seats. Joy responded with a sharper edge now, her voice cutting through the air. She defended her stance, pointing out her decades of experience, her understanding of audiences, her role in shaping conversations. Her words came faster, more pointed. Leanne didn't interrupt. She waited. And when she spoke again, her voice was still calm, but stronger now. She shared a personal story, something about growing up, about how humor was used to mask deeper issues, about how the world had changed and how people were finally starting to listen differently. Her words weren't aggressive, but they landed hard. There was a pause. A long one. Joy blinked, clearly caught off guard. This wasn't the kind of exchange she was used to dominating. The usual rhythm of the show, quick comebacks, overlapping voices, was gone. Instead, there was this quiet intensity that felt almost uncomfortable. One of the co-hosts tried to lighten the mood, throwing in a joke. The audience chuckled nervously, but it didn't stick. Joy leaned back slightly, crossing her arms. Her expression shifted, less confident now, more defensive. "You're making it sound like everything we've done is outdated," she said, her tone sharper than before. Leanne shook her head gently. "No," she replied. "I'm saying things are changing, and maybe we need to listen a little more than we talk." That line hit the room like a sudden gust of wind. The audience reacted, some clapped, others stayed silent. The tension grew thicker. Joy exhaled, a short, frustrated breath. She tapped her pen against the desk, a small but telling gesture. The camera caught it. The viewers at home saw it too. Another co-host jumped in, trying to steer the conversation back to safer ground. But it was too late. The moment had already taken hold. Joy interrupted. Her voice was louder now. "I've been doing this long enough to know when something is being twisted," she said, "and I'm not going to sit here and be told I don't understand people." The room fell silent. Leanne didn't raise her voice. She didn't react with anger. She simply looked at Joy, her expression steady. "I didn't say you don't understand," she said softly. "I said maybe there's more to understand." That was the breaking point. Joy pushed her chair back slightly, the sound echoing louder than expected in the quiet studio. Her frustration was no longer hidden. It was visible, raw, and unmistakable. "This is ridiculous," she muttered. The cameras kept rolling. The producers behind the scenes were already scrambling, whispering into headsets, trying to decide whether to cut to commercial. But something about the moment made them hesitate. It was real, unscripted, unfiltered. Joy stood up. The audience gasped. It wasn't dramatic at first. No shouting, no grand gestures. Just a quiet, deliberate movement. But it spoke volumes. "I'm not doing this," she said. For a second, it felt like time froze. Leanne's eyes widened slightly, not in shock, but in concern. She hadn't expected this. None of them had. Joy took off her microphone, placing it on the desk with a firm motion. The small sound it made felt louder than any argument. One of the co-hosts reached out, trying to calm her. "Joy, come on!" But she shook her head. No. And just like that, she walked off the set. The audience sat in stunned silence. A few whispers broke out, but no one quite knew how to react. This wasn't part of the show. This wasn't entertainment. This was something else. The remaining hosts exchanged glances, unsure of what to say. Leanne looked down for a moment, taking a breath. When she looked back up, her expression was composed, but there was a hint of sadness there. "I didn't mean for that to happen," she said quietly. The sincerity in her voice shifted the atmosphere. It softened something in the room. One of the co-hosts nodded, placing a hand on Leanne's arm. "We know," she said gently. The producers finally cut to commercial. Backstage, the tension was even heavier. Staff members moved quickly, some trying to locate Joy, others preparing statements, anticipating the wave of reactions that would follow. Joy stood in a quiet hallway, her chest rising and falling as she tried to steady her breathing. The adrenaline was still there, the frustration lingering, but beneath it, there was something else, doubt, reflection. She replayed the moment in her mind. The words, the tone, the way the audience reacted. Meanwhile, back on set, the hosts regrouped. When the show returned from break, the energy had changed completely. It was more subdued, more careful. They addressed the situation briefly, choosing their words with caution. They spoke about passionate discussions, about different perspectives, about how conversations can sometimes get intense. Leanne spoke last. "I think it's important that we keep talking," she said, "even when it's uncomfortable." Her voice was steady but softer now. "And I hope we can all do that with respect." The audience applauded, this time more confidently. The rest of the show continued, but the earlier moment lingered like a shadow. Clips of the incident spread rapidly online. Social media exploded with reactions, some supporting Joy, others praising Leanne, many debating the deeper meaning of what had happened. By the end of the day, it wasn't just a TV moment anymore. It had become a conversation far beyond the studio. And somewhere in the quiet after the storm, both women were left thinking about what had been said and what it meant moving forward.